17 brands, over 20 significant debuts, from pickup trucks, SUVs, from concepts to PUVs. What's in store for this year's Philippine International Motor Show? Come join me as we step inside. Greeting you right here at the Honda booth is this. And if you miss it, you probably have to get your eyes checked, because this is the Honda Small RS concept, finished here in bright orange. Now, this car essentially previews the next generation Brio, and judging by its reaction here in the show so far, it looks like we'll be getting the all-new small hatchback pretty soon. Over here at Isuzu, they have a very significant concept vehicle on display. They call it the VT02 and not VTOS, as some people would say. It's VT02. Anyway, now the VT02 is their light commercial vehicle. Think something like a Mitsubishi L300 or something like that. But because the L300 is gone, Isuzu wants to take over that mantle. And this, they believe, is the truck that will do it for them. Also here at the Isuzu booth are two new variants of the new MU-X, one at the opposite end of the scale as the other. Now first is the LS, the new entry-level automatic version with not a lot of equipment inside, and this one, the MU-X, looks with a more powerful engine and practically everything inside it, including a power tailgate, if I may add. Other things you can see here at the Isuzu booth is this light off-road inspired D-Max and a more hardcore overland concept right at the back. For this year's PIMS, if you swing by the Nissan booth, you're greeted not by one but two sections. One with the standard models and the other with these, the Nismo models. And if you stand right here, the least powerful model already has about 200 horsepower, which gives you an idea just how serious Nissan Philippines is bringing in the Nismo brand in the country. Now right behind me is the 370DZ Nismo, and it's one of their more serious performance cars in the range today. And if that's a little too much for you, they even brought in the Nismo Juke, and that has about 190 horsepower, and it is perhaps one of the first small crossovers in the country packing that much horsepower. Now if you head on to the irregular side of the Nissan booths, there's the Leaf electric car, and I've personally driven it, and it's one of the more interesting cars in the market out there today. That is if they bring it here. Of course, there are also pretty interesting concepts for the Terra and the Navara. For the Navara, they call it the Warrior X, and according to Nissan Philippines Incorporated President Ramesh Narasimhan, it's a purely Filipino concept, and perhaps if they put it in production, it's not going to be as aggressive, but it sure as hell will turn heads. As for the Terra S, it's not as aggressive as the Warrior, but what they have done is spruce up the Terra a little bit more and all that, and unique touches to go along with it. As for the rest of the range, well, they also displayed the X-Trail and the standard versions of the Navara, as well as the top-of-the-line version of the Terra pickup platform vehicle. Over here at the Mitsubishi booth, they brought in this one, the e-Evolution concept. Now this, they say, is Mitsubishi's direction, not just for their standard cars, but also their performance cars, as this is a full electric vehicle. It has 3 motors, 2 powering the front and 1 at the back. Now, if this is a little too futuristic for you, there's the Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV over there, which unfortunately is not for sale in the Philippines, but hopefully with the plug-in hybrids, EVs and all that, with the taxes being reduced, hopefully we'll see more of those kinds here in the country. But this one With Mitsubishi highlighting crossovers, we could expect more designs and types of vehicles like this in the coming future. As for the rest of the booth, there's the standard Mitsubishi fare like the Mirage G4, Expander, Montero Sport, and of course the Strada. But there is no doubt that one of the biggest stars of PIMS 2018 was this one, the all-new Jimny. And it's a pretty big deal too, because this is the first all-new design in about 20 years already. Still, it's already in left-hand drive and all that, so this is pretty much close to what we will get here. And we could start seeing these in showrooms about next year. As for the rest of the Suzuki booth, you could play some football because they sponsored the latest football cup. And also there is the Vitara, the all-new Desire, as well as the all-new Swift. So swing by the Suzuki booth and check those out as well. Well, of course, besides this one. If you don't want to go German and want to have a bit more British flair in your luxury car, then look no further than the Jaguar Land Rover booth. Now, the best-selling model to date, according to Coventry Philippines, is the Range Rover Velar. But this, the F-Pace, is slowly catching up to it. And it comes as no surprise, it looks very stunning, especially in the shade of British Racing Green. Other new products, of course, is the small Cub E-Pace and my personal favorite, the Land Rover Discovery. Think luxury and the first thing that pops into your head is probably a German car of some sort. Well, here at the BMW booth, what they have on display is a combination of performance, luxury, and even practicality. Here we have the all-new and first ever 6 Series Gran Turismo, which replaces the old 5 Series Gran Turismo. And speaking of practicality, there's also the all-new X4. Performance is more your bag. There's the M2 with performance parts as well as the M5. And while you're at it, you might as well swing by the BMW Virtual Reality booth and you could step around and look around the all-new X5 and among other models, even the all-new M5 as well. Here, you get to experience an all-new BMW model without ever leaving this stand. For a brand that prides itself in having one of the sharpest driving cars in its class, Mazda sure has the chillest booth here at PIMS. And it's just as chill as this one, the car behind me, the Mazda 6. It's among a range of new Mazda models that graced Philippine showrooms pretty soon. And it's joined by the facelifted Mazda MX-5 RF, which has more power, and the one over there, the Mazda CX-9, now with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Other cars in the booth, of course, are the speed versions of the Mazda 2 and the Mazda 3 hatchback. And, well, you could just swing by here and relax and enjoy the view. Over here at the SsangYong booth, and they've launched something rather important. It's this, the all-new Musso pickup. Now, if the name Musso sounds familiar, it was an SUV from the past, but this resurrected version now sprouts a bed at the back. Now, this is important and vital for SsangYong, mainly because its main rivals from Korea, Hyundai and Kia, have yet to come out with a pickup in the local market. So this should prove a very interesting alternative to the usual Japanese and American pickup trucks in the segment. And we cap off the day here at the Volkswagen booth. And here they have 4 new models that are coming to your showroom near you. First, the automatic transmission Santana, the Santana GTS 5-door station wagon, the Lavida sort of mid-size sedan, and the Lamando, which is sort of an upper premium C-segment sedan. Here at the Volkswagen stand, they have these gazebos and this Filipino-themed booth, and you even get to enjoy some good old Filipino desserts like kakanin. Enjoy it.